Hey, y'all, listen. Happy Tuesday, and welcome in the building. Listen, people, y'all got 60 minutes. 60 minutes because it's storming in New Jersey. And I hope I get through the 60 minutes. So this is going to be a tight train ride, okay? And I hope my computer don't act out because it seems like it's getting a little slow in between here and there. But we're going to get it in. We can't let nothing stop the train. We cannot. But it's going to be a tight, quick, in and out train ride because it's storming in New Jersey. But listen, it's Trending Topics. It's Tuesday. If you're here, I'm glad to see you. Thanks for hanging out with the Diva. Hit that like button. Listen, the title is real simple. It's called Oh My. You know, I have a lot of titles called Oh My. We got to keep it simple. We got to keep it short. And listen, oh my, Dwight Howard. I didn't even realize him and the chick got married. I thought they were still engaged, but they did get married. And after 6 months of marriage, cahoots, she filed for divorce. She filed for divorce the other day, and she wants spousal support. You know that spousal support is a sensitive topic for me. I ain't mad at it, but in some cases I am mad at it. After 6 months of marriage, why do I got to give you some money? Because you know this spousal support, it could turn on us, ladies. If somebody come through Diva door and marry me, and after 6 months they say it's a wrap, and then they got the nerve to ask for spousal support, oh, I'm going to be in that court acting a whole fool, I promise y'all. Giving up my money because you was with me for 6 months? No, I'm not. No. Whatever you was doing prior to that 6 months, you need to continue doing it. Go back to your studio apartment. And matter of fact, I'm going to help you get one. I will give up the deposit, the first month's rent, and the second month's rent so you can get out. But no, I'm not going to be giving you money every month after no 6 months of marriage. I'm sorry, I'm not. But y'all let me know your thoughts. Those are Diva thoughts. You're not getting my money like that after no 6 months. It's a no for me. Then we're going to talk about the Diddy sentencing. Today, court was quick. It was blink your eye, it was over. It was just so that the state, the government, I said the state, but I meant the government, the Southern District of New York, can submit their letter. The prosecutors submit their letter saying how much time they think Diddy should get. And it's the beginning of the sentencing time, right? Because he could get up to 10 years for each count, which would be 20 years. Now, 20 years for a first-time offender, court, whatever, however you want to look at it, for buying people to have sex. 20 years is a lot of time when the people out in these streets doing it all day long. But you know, it's just like driving. We could say, I can't get in the court and say, well, Your Honor, everybody was speeding. Well, you got caught, so we dealing with you right now. He got caught. He can get up to 10 years for each count. The defense is recommended 21 months, and the prosecution wants the judge to start at the 51 months, which is like, whoa. But it's up to the judge. So we're going to see what the judge decide on October the 3rd, 2025. And at that point, he would have served like a year and a month and change, you know, behind bars because he got arrested in September of 2024. So we will see. Now, listen, when I watch the Olympics, I don't watch like every single sport in the Olympics. I'm connected. I always have been. I don't know why. Obsessed with gymnastics. I never did gymnastics. I couldn't flip. I can't even dance. I got 2 left feet. But obsessed with the gymnastics part. Obsessed with it. So I'm saying that because I knew this Mary Lou Retton. You know, during my time, everybody was rooting for her, happy for her. It was like, whoa, this is great. She's an amazing athlete. I think she's only 56 or something like that. Or 57. Going through a lot. Got a DUI the other day. I'm saying the other day, but it was a while. And they released the body cam footage. And good God almighty, oh my. Think she was driving with a suspended license. She did not pass the sobriety test. It was a mess. and she needs oxygen for whatever she's going through. You know what is always sad to me? It's sad when you see these celebrities or these people that had amassed so much in their life, and then, you know, pretty much some type of vice takes them down. It was sad to see her in that condition. Very sad. Yeah, fall from grace. Thank you, Savannah. I couldn't get the words out of my mouth, but you helped me out. Fall from grace. Very sad. But I'm going to shut up because we having a quick train ride tonight. So what do I need in the chat, y'all? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Tuesday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. The title is called Oh My. We got Dwight Howard after 6 months. Girlfriend's filed for divorce. We got the Diddy sentencing date set for October the 3rd. But, you know, we knew that the other day. Diddy did want it moved up, but then his defense came in and said, you know what, whatever. He said, leave it as is. And October 3rd, he will know his fate. And then we got Mary Lou Retton. They released the body cam footage from when she was arrested. Yikes. Let me bring the people in the building. Hey, Savannah.
Hi, Diva.
Hey, Felicia. Hey, Julius.
Hey, y'all.
Hey. Hit the like button, everybody. Listen, we're going to get right into it. When I bring up this Diddy story, all I want y'all to answer, and we're not saying you got to be perfectly right, just, you know, come up with your, we the judge today. We the judge. And I want y'all to let me know what sentence you think Diddy should get when they come to the sentencing on October 3rd. And y'all also in the chat, let me know what sentence you think Diddy should get. Okay? Let me go ahead and share screen so we can get into this story. So Diddy, awaiting my faith. I'll learn my sentence on October the 3rd. Mark your calendars. Sean Diddy Combs finally has a sentencing date for his P conviction in his federal criminal trial. Judge Iran just officially set sentencing for October the 3rd, the same day he originally proposed last week when Diddy was convicted on 2 charges of transporting male workers to have relations. Okay, we're going to say it that way. Diddy will remain in custody until his sentencing date. And by that time, he will already have been locked up for over a year. And his time served will go towards his sentence. The music mogul faces a maximum of 20 years because it's 2 counts, and each count has a maximum of 10. A decade for each count. But it's unlikely he gets the max sentence. Diddy's defense and prosecutors are divided on sentencing guidelines. Diddy's attorneys say sentencing guidelines start at 21 months. With prosecutors saying the sentencing guidelines start at 51 months. Ultimately, it will be up to the judge. Remember, he got his bail denied because they said that he is violent. Bernita said he should get 24 months. Savannah, what are your thoughts? How much time do you think Diddy should get?
Time served.
Oh. Now you saying time served, but are you going to, you know, in Jonathan Major's case, they made him do mandatory, what do you call it, counseling? Because Diddy does have he has put your hand on people issues, so DV issues. He has drug issues. So you just want to set him free with time served, nothing else?
No, definitely send him free with time served, but Diddy needs some extensive counseling. I'm more concerned with the substance abuse issue because I do believe that even though he's locked up, I still think he has access to maybe not all, but some type of substance behind the prison walls. So I would ask that he, you know, I would prefer that he gets some type of substance abuse counseling. But as far as how much time so he served for the 2 count, what the 13, 14 months that he's been in, they didn't prove anything. I say time served and with some substance abuse counseling. Diddy is who he is. He's 50 something years old, almost 60. they, besides DB, there wasn't anything else proved. And those two women will run back to him as soon as they get the chance. So drug time serving some type of treatment for substance abuse.
Okay, thank you, Savannah. Julius, your thoughts?
Okay. I say time serves with some drug treatment, mandatory counseling, supervised by the court. That's what I say. The defense did not prove their case. They were sloppy and ego driven. And so therefore I stand by my verdict to say time served with um time served with mandatory counseling with drug prevention and all of that.
Thank you, Julius. Felicia, your thoughts?
Oh my, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hey, everybody. I'm right here. So this is a tough one. It's a tough one. I don't want to say how much time because as we were talking backstage, everybody's into their feelings. And so we have to wait on the probation report of what they think the guidelines should be. And then maybe I could say a little differently. But I certainly agree that, okay, let me say this. I don't think he needs to be in the detention center here. I think he should be moved closer to his home, somewhere there in Florida. I think he should have mandated therapy, that he should have be in a mandated rehab approved, with the courts for his substance abuse. Also, for his violence. We know that this man is violent. Yeah, he's got a hot temper, and I don't know how much. I don't know what's happened to him while he's been incarcerated. So I'd like for him to have the best chance of success going forward. And I don't think you have that in the detention center. I think you do have that closer to home where your family can come visit you, where you could be getting counseling and therapy and not be so anxious. Yeah, I get what the charge is, but everything is so muddy. I don't even know who to trust. I don't know who to trust, what's going to be fair, what's going to be right. I certainly know I can't stand to even think 20 years or even 10 years. So something below 10 on both counts, perhaps, with intensive therapy and counseling. And if you're not going to get that, then time served and then send him back out on the street. And an ankle monitor.
Yeah.
And weekly drug testing. Drug testing.
Now you waking up, Felicia. Yeah. Now you waking up.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Now you waking up. We need this week. Listen, Jonathan Majors was running away from somebody, and he was mandated to go, I think, 4 days a week at counseling or something like that with the anger management and everything else. And we heard what he allegedly did to Grace Jabari. Well, we ain't have no videotape. But we had some audio of some things that allegedly happened or whatever. So Jonathan Major had to do all of that. And we seen this 2016 Intercontinental Hotel beatdown. Then Diddy got to go to counseling 5 days a week. He need the ankle placement. He need anger management. And he needs drug rehab. Wayne, your thoughts?
I'm going to go on the lines with, I think, the time served, considering that the people that he's, accused, the prostitution going across lines, so I think that, with stipulations on, he'd have to do some things, complete some courses as well, because these two people, the one he supposed to traffic it, it's the old saying, all have come up short. Jane Doe said she banged his head into a marble table. My God, if that ain't violent, what is? Cassie said she would cut somebody up, cut them up in pieces. And if she didn't do it, she'd have somebody else do it. So I don't see these people so innocent. You know, maybe he did get charged with the prostitution, you know, taking them across lines and stuff like that. But okay, he'd have served a little. If October, he would have served about a year. Okay, they have guidelines for, you know, first time offenders on this. Granted, he may have done some other stuff, but that ain't what he was on trial for. And for what he's on trial for those two charges, for first time, it's a class A misdemeanor, and first time is a lot lenient. Okay, don't, because they didn't get the RICO and they didn't get the other stuff. Don't say, well, okay, well, we could give you this a light sentence, but we're gonna find out what's the max we can give you. What can I give you? You know. So I don't think he should be given this hard sentence. He's been in there. Like I said, I'm no Diddy fan. I don't know how he know all his music and stuff like that. But just based on information, they went after him, you know, with a hammer, going after all these charges and stuff like that. And it boiled down to one thing. And they couldn't prove it. Even when the jurors was on television, there was an alternate. But they said they sat in on the, you know, the whole thing. And they felt the same way. The same way we were feeling, like the one guy said, like Richard, they didn't believe nothing. They said, and it was a unanimous consent with the jury that they didn't believe her. Okay, all the other charges, he said it was reasonable doubt. So just because you didn't get him on those, don't try to drum it up and make a charge that's a misdemeanor and doesn't have a long sentence to try to charge him with. If he wants to continue to do wrong, and if he wants to break the law, well, let him find out. He'll have a second opportunity. They let Epstein out with almost like a slap on his wrist and told him, don't do it no more. Don't. And he got out, he did it even more. So I'm just saying, this is his first, according to this charge, it's a misdemeanor. Let him do the time up until October. If the judge say time served, let this man go off, ride off in the sunset, and do what he had to do with his family. If he changes, great. If he don't, that's his problem, not ours.
Woo, thank you, Wayne. Best IBK said 24 months. Then he needs to go get treatment for all of his ailments he got, his situations. And she said an ankle bracing, and she said testing also. So
Diva, may I add
testing.
something?
Go ahead, Julius.
Let the swinger freak be a swinger freak. Listen, if he like it, I love it. I'm minding my business.
Yeah, he needs help though. This is past being a swinger freak. He has now went through a whole trial, and he has two charges. And but I will say this, Wayne, I'm with you. If he gets out and do it again, that's going to be on him. He definitely dodged what they would like to say a bullet. So if you want to get out and go back and do this again, it's definitely going to be on you. But I think whatever the sentence is, he needs help. He needs an ankle bracing. They need to do some testing, and he needs to be on probation when he gets out, probably about a good 2 years. We shall see. October 3rd is the day. And hopefully in between now and October 3rd, we get a break on some of these Diddy stories. We shall see. So we're going to go ahead and roll into the next story. The next story I have here, let me just X this out there, give myself some room. The next story I have,
Diva,
yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but you didn't mention the amended complaint with the Diddy piece.
Oh, that one lawsuit?
Yeah, that April Lampros. Yeah, just a
Ample.
post.
Well, I'll just mention it real quick, and then we'll roll into the next story. Now we're seeing that since he did not get convicted on some of these more serious charges, some of these lawsuits are losing its steam, so to speak. I'll use that word because it's April Lampros. She used to claim in her lawsuit, and listen, there was so many, and we went over most of them over here. It started until it started getting towards the end, where every day you turned around, somebody was suing him, right? Because somebody recently put in a lawsuit, and it's so outlandish and crazy. I read it and I was like, I can't even do this right now. But this April Lampros, who in her original lawsuit, and she's got a Tyrone Blackburn special because he's her lawyer. In the original lawsuit, she wrote how Diddy argued her several times. So Diddy allegedly argued her several times. And, now she has amended that lawsuit, and she removed out of it that he argued her. And she's just going for S battery and SA or something like that. But it's interesting to me how you downgrade somebody argue. And that's why many of us, and people want to say victim shame, but many people were saying, if that happened to you, why not go to the police? So why all of a sudden would you come and now you're going to drop the R from your civil suit? It don't make sense. Because I think what happened was, I think this is just a Diva thought right now. The Southern District of New York, I think they called several attorneys to help them out on the low. And the ones who took the bite was that Tony Busby and Tyrone Blackburn. And Tyrone Blackburn is just another Tony Busby, if you ask me. So those two took the call, and they started getting these outlandish lawsuits. Because if you go back to most of the civil suits against Diddy, either Tyrone or Tony Busby is the lawyer. And there was a couple that had some different ones in between. But if you notice, those fell off to the wayside. Remember, what's that? Thalia, I think her name was, came on our screen crying with Gloria Allred.
And Ariel and the guy
Ariel Mitchell kid. They're all a bunch of shyster, if you ask me, lawyers who probably too got the call from the Southern District of New York, and they took it. And then Gloria Allred sat up there with her client crying, holding up signs, holding up screens, accusing a bodyguard too. And when that bodyguard poked a million holes in her story and he turned around and sued her, we ain't hear from Gloria since. It's a bunch of nonsense. And then that Thalia, she was caught in the DMs of the bodyguard, telling the bodyguard, help me get Diddy. Sebastian came up here the other day and said it's a lot of corruption in this case. They want to tell us Diddy's the monster, but are they any better? Because they was doing a whole lot of corrupt stuff just to try to take this man down. Now, he did enough stuff on his own, but if they really had the evidence, they would have been able to take him down, but they didn't. So they was doing all kinds of shenanigans behind the scenes to take him down. But either way, she amended her case, and it's a hot, stinking mess. I don't know how you go when you 10 toes down that somebody argued you 4 times and you're willing to amend your lawsuit and take that out. But her little shiesty lawyer out here driving his car into people and avoiding subpoenas, and he's a lawyer. Let's get into this Dwight Howard wife files for divorce story. Hold on, let me share screen. 6 months. Now listen, I told y'all over here, and I ain't claiming I know nothing and can tell anybody how to run a relationship, not run a relationship, or be successful in one. But I will tell you this, the track record matters. If the people are giving you all kind of information, or you finding out all kind of information before you say I do, and you still say I do, you got to take that L. You got to take that on yourself. You responsible for that. So Dwight Howard's wife filed for divorce just 6 months into the marriage. 6 months. So Dwight Howard's wife Amber Rose Howard has filed for divorce 6 months after they married on January 11th, according to court documents obtained by TMZ. The rapper and reality star who goes by the name Amy Luciani filed for divorce on July 1st in Georgia, citing that her marriage to the former NBA champ is irretrievably broken and there are no prospects for reconciliation. Rose requested alimony and asked that all marital assets and property be equitably divided by the courts. Girl, it's been 6 months. What do you want? Howard, 39, and Rose went public with their relationship in December, revealing they were engaged on Instagram. They were both wearing diamond rings in a series of photos at the time. That's those two together right there, looking happy. Rose appears to remove any trace of Howard on her social media. Last month, she released a children's books with Howard's last name. Howard has yet to publicly address the divorce news. The former three-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year, who spent 18 years in the league, winning a title with the Lakers in 2020 in his first season with the Big Three League. Howard was among the first-time nominees for the 2025 Basketball Hall of Fame that were announced in December. Rose was on seasons 11 and 12 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and released the album Amy's World in 2023. 6 months and it is a wrap. Woo, child. Felicia, your thoughts?
All right. I don't have too many thoughts. 6 months is 6 months. It's probably 5.5 months longer than most people thought it would go. I think she's entitled to support, spousal support. I remember that they lived together for a while before they got married. I don't think that's going to be her biggest problem. I think her biggest problem is going to be getting this money. And, you know, I think I have said a couple of times up on this panel that sometimes the money ain't worth it. Your peace of mind is far more important. And sometimes you just need to let things go, even if you know you're rightfully entitled to it. So in this case, based on what we have been told in social media about her soon-to-be ex-husband, she may be better off just letting it go and moving on with her life. I wish her the best. I do.
I agree with you. Thank you, Felicia. Julius, your thoughts?
Now, she can call MTV to get the hookup back on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. You know, they just coming out with season 13. So, but you know, I'm pretty sure they're going to come out with season 13, B, C, D, E, F, G. So, you know, she could call and get that check secure. Okay. Yeah, I wish her the best. You know, I'm not going to, you know, not wish her the best. I wish her the best. You know, get your money, girl. You came into the marriage with something. Get with yours, girl. But yeah, she lasted longer than Kim Kardashian, honey.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Julius. Savannah, your thoughts?
Well, I guess she FAFO'd. With all the stories that have been out there about her husband for years, she made a decision to be wife number 3, 4, or 5. I'm not sure what number she is. And I agree. I think it lasted longer than most of us expected it to. So I don't know, with 6 months, what can she, and then Dwight is as ruthless as he is. She's probably going to leave with whatever fits in the hamper she came in and walk right on out the door, because he's not going to easily give her spousal support. Thank goodness they didn't have any children together, because that would have been awful for the child. But yeah, I hope that she makes better choices and learns from this and is not tormented by him after separation, as many other women who have been in relationships with him claim that he does. Because she's gonna have to probably sign all types of NDAs and can't write a book and can't go on interviews and so yeah, I'm surprised it lasted this long, but I'm glad that she was able to get out in such a short amount of time.
I agree with you. You know what? And you are right. As ruthless as he is, she gonna get that. She better take that hamper and go. And you know what? To be honest with you, I would just leave. But you know, that's my personality because my peace of mind is worth more than some money. I would just go ahead and leave and just take whatever I got, start over, and thank God in heaven that, like you said, there are no children and it could be a cleaner break. When there's no children, the break is as clean as it can get in these situations. And you're not talking about you invested a whole lot of stuff with this man. It's been 6 months, girl. And I don't care how long they was living together or were together before that. You have 6 months of his last name. Give him his last name back. Move on with your life and thank the heavens that you wasn't invested longer. And Tanya, you ain't lying. She knew who he was before marrying him. She can get $100 for each month of her marriage and go sit down somewhere. Go sit down somewhere. Split up everything equally. Girl, it's been 6 months. What do you want? Get
That's
your clothes out the closet. Go ahead, Savannah.
Be entitled to $600.
$600.
A divorce is an annulment. I mean,
That's true, right? Under a year.
Under a year, I believe it's an annulment. If they got married in Florida, I mean, she's not entitled to hardly anything. So, yeah, she better. I hope she saved up whatever money he was giving her throughout those 6 months or whatever their dating period was, and actually made something, accomplished something. Because I didn't even know she had a children's book out. So
I didn't either. Scorpio says she's getting nothing. Yeah, she gotta let this one go. Chalk this up to the game, so to speak. I'm gonna roll into this last story, which is it's for me because I grew up watching her as an athlete, and you know, nowadays with so much streaming systems, you don't see a lot of commercials, right? But when I was growing up, I used to watch Saturday cartoons. And, you know, in between those cartoons, you would see commercials. A lot of these athletes, they was on the Wheaties box commercials, you know. So, and when you go to the store, you would see them on the box sometimes. So I just, you know, and I always watch your Wheaties girl. I always watch that segment of the Olympics. I just love gymnastics. I don't know why. I was really connected to the gymnastics. And I really got into it because of her, and I continue to watch it throughout the years. That's how I know some of these other gymnastic girls. And to see her in this state, and I'm saying young because I'm 55, so she's only 57, and to see her in this state is pretty sad. I'm gonna go ahead and share screen. Let me share this first, and then I think I have a separate clip of her actual arrest here. So Mary Lou Retton shocking mugshot, body cam footage of DUI arrest released. So the arrest happened a few months ago, but they just released her the video. This one is not that clear. I do have one that's a little clear, but it's longer. Let's see what we can see with this one.
You need oxygen first? Okay, get some of your oxygen real quick. If you need to sit for a second or...
No.
Okay.
I mean, seriously.
Yes, ma'am. Seriously. Miss Retton, do you have your driver's license on you anywhere?
No, I've got a passport.
You don't even have the license?
No, it's in Texas.
Yo, your driver's license in Texas?
Yeah.
But you just don't have it with you?
I don't have it.
Okay, that's...
It's valid.
All right.
236 very much. He's advising it's through Texas.
Keep going until I tell you to stop. Count out loud for me.
9 seconds? Come on.
I didn't say 9 seconds. I said till I stop.
Dude, please. Oh my God.
Driver's license that expired in 2015.
No, it's not.
Okay,
It's mine.
we'll figure that out in a second. Don't move your head, okay? Keep your head right there. Do me a favor, keep your head in the middle. Just follow with your eyes. Keep following.
I am.
Okay. Follow my finger.
You're making me feel like I'm. You see it?
You see it? Okay. This is just a test. You just keep following it.
See it? See it?
Okay. Heel to toe, okay?
1, 2,
Keep your hands down to your side.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. No.
No.
Miss Retton, please don't.
Oh my god.
Do you have any reason your hands can't be behind your back?
Never. Yeah. I
What?
got
What's that?
8 surgeries on my shoulders.
Okay, put her in front.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll be, like I said, we'll work with you if you're
Okay,
cooperating.
let go of your hand.
Are you kidding me?
I
No.
have no choice, Miss Retton. That's
And
our
I'm
job.
in West Virginia.
I know.
Poor thing. All right. So the body cam footage from Mary Lou Retton's DUI arrest earlier this year has been released. The former Olympian 57 appears in the shocking video released Tuesday wearing a bright yellow t-shirt and brown shorts as she is pulled over by the police. The officer then gives her some instructions for a sobriety test as she murmurs, "Oh my God." The former gymnast appears to become a bit combative, huffing, "Oh, come on," when the officer demands that she continue trying to balance herself for a few more seconds. Although Retton was pulled over in West Virginia, she told cops she only had a Texas issued license, but it was not on her at the time, and that she only had her passport. The former athlete informed the officer that she was refusing the breathalyzer test despite that meaning, and she would obtain an additional charge for declining to do so. The entire ordeal, which took police in an AutoZone parking lot on May 17th, resulted in Retton getting handcuffed for driving under the influence. She became emotional and told a loved one, "Oh my God, Gia, they think I'm drunk," as she later tried to advocate on her behalf to the police. The officer still escorted Retton down to the station, however, and upon arrival there, she was told of the policeman, "I mean, really, I know you know who I am." While at the station, the former gold medalist got her mugshot taken, which was also released on Tuesday. She appeared to be crying and very upset while posing for the photograph. In the body cam footage, the mom of 4 continued to break down. "I didn't realize she had 4 children." Reps for Retton did not immediately respond to page 6 request for a comment. That's her in the station. Retton's arrest first became public in late May. At the time, online records showed that she had been booked in Marion County for driving under the influence of alcohol, controlled substances, or drug penalties. Per police report, she drove her Porsche all over the roadway with a container of wine beside her. Retton received a $100 fine and told Entertainment Tonight after a court appearance in June, "I take full responsibility for my actions. What happened was completely unacceptable. I make no excuses. To my family, friends, and fans, I have let you down, and for that, I'm deeply sorry. I'm determined to learn and grow from this experience, and I'm committed to making positive changes in my life. I truly appreciate your concern, encouragement, and continued support." I feel for her. It seems like these substances are taking a lot of people down. Felicia, your thoughts?
Take her off the streets. Let me tell you this. I don't feel for her. This was how many gold medals she got for going across that balance beam. I don't know how many feet up off the floor it was. And she can't even walk on the ground on a straight line. No, take her off the street. No, I don't know if it was alcohol. I don't know if it was prescribed meds. I don't know. I don't care. She got 4 children, so she knows how people should be feeling about their children. They don't want her out here intoxicated, talking about, "Oh, gee, I got a pain in my shoulder." And look how nice they were to her. They went and handcuffed her in the front. Had that been her sister, her face would have been smashed on the ground. She would have had a foot on her neck, and they would have had her for everything, up to and including resisting arrest, trafficking, every damn thing else. No, I ain't got no empathy. Go in there and get some rehab and keep your A off the road. Done.
Woo! Well, Felicia back, y'all. She said, keep off the road. She got nothing for her. Mary Lou Retton, I'm sorry. Savannah, your thoughts?
I'm sorry too. I, like you, Diva, grew up knowing who Mary Lou was and her being the first female that was posted on a cereals box, Wheaties. And that at that time, that was a huge accomplishment. Um, I am very familiar with Mary Lou Retton. I do have a little empathy for her. I know she's had numerous hip surgeries, and then that have caused her to become addicted to medication that she's had to take because of the surgeries. I saw one of her daughters is getting married, and they were on the is it Say Yes for the Dress, one of those shows. So that's where I actually saw Mary Lou and what she has become with having to have a oxygen tank by her side 24/7 because she um, contacted some type of rare pneumonia that is attacking her ability to breathe and her lung expander. So she has this pneumonia thing going on as well, that they're trying to tie into either COVID vaccine or something. But she knows better than to get behind a wheel and drink alcohol, especially with the number of medications that she's on, and the type of ailments that she struggles and battles with. So I do think that a lot of people coddle her and protect her because she was the original first. You remember that bowl bob that she had, and the girls wanted to emulate. And when she did that dismount and she sprained her ankle, and her coaches came in and carried her off, and she still won the gold medal. Like those moments are they made history, and they live with you forever. And it's unfortunate that her legacy is what it is now. But I think she's had a lot of heartaches. She's addicted to a lot of medication. She definitely needs rehab, and she needs a good cleanup. So I'm going to give her a little empathy, but also get her tail off the road. She does not belong on the road whatsoever. She should know better, and she should be embarrassed. Honestly, her whole family should be embarrassed.
Yeah, so you know what, you made some very good points, and I like to mess around, but Felicia, you are correct, and Savannah, you are correct. She needs to be off the road because it's very dangerous. But you mentioned about her surgeries, and it had me thinking. A lot of time when these individuals, when they get these different surgeries, they get hooked on these pain meds. If you ever want to see a really, good documentary on these pain meds. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but it was called, I want to say that the documentary or the show was called Painkillers. And it's based on true stories. And it just shows you how easily, unfortunately, these people get addicted to the pain meds, and how these doctors are become, I'm gonna say, legal drug dealers with a prescription and with a pad. And they just keep upping the dose and upping the dose. It was eye-opening, and it's so sad. And the pharmaceutical companies, they're raking in big off of people's addictions. It's sad. Julius, your thoughts?
Oh, lock her tail up. Now look, she was great at one time, but she ain't great no more. And I understand we all may fall from grace. However, she chose to get behind the wheel, no license, suspended license ever going back to 2015, because that's what it said on the recording. So you chose to ride dirty with a license that's been expired for the last 10 years. Let's just call a thing here. And you chose to be drunk. Nah, lady, I ain't got no love for you. And I was born in the 90s. Yeah, I was taught about you. I see you. But I ain't got no love for you. Nah. Sit down somewhere. You on timeout.
Thank you. You just got in the building. Katrina, any thoughts on this?
Yeah. Like everybody said, yeah, she was a big thing. She was on the weed box. Um, you know, she was very admired. She went bankrupt. She lost all her money. I don't know how, but I guess things happen. Yes, she was sick. She was doing one of those commercials. I forgot what commercial she was doing, but she was on a commercial talking about some type of, I think what Savannah was saying. Um, and yes, Diva, those pain pills are easy to get addicted on. I mean, way easy. And some people just have an addictive personality. Some people can take them and they don't bother them. Some people take them and it gets them just like that. And the thing of it is, I'm glad Purdue and the Sackler family got to pay out billions. They got to pay out billions of dollars. They tried to do a bankruptcy. The folks said, no. They paying out billions. They have $1 billion lawsuits against Sackler and Purdue. And that's what they get, because in these doctors, every prescription that they write, they get a kickback off of it. That's why you see those pharmacy, those reps coming in the office leaving samples. So every prescription that doctor writes, he's getting a kickback as well. And no, you knew you got a problem. You know, well, if you got this situation going on, you can barely breathe. You already out. You own alcohol and you own pills. Girl, you was a triple threat. You should have sat your butt down or had somebody call you an Uber or something like that. Because what if you would have went out there and unalived somebody? Then you'd be looking at something else. And that's a sad situation. You already in a sad situation anyway, but you making it worse. So yes, I'm with Felicia now. Sit down. Julius, Savannah. Yeah, I got a soft part for you too, but sit down. Because if it was somebody else, we won't even be looking at it like that. We'll be saying, well, they're getting what they deserve. So as we can say, she's getting what she deserved. That's all I got. And I hope she gets some rehab and some help. That's it.
Ooh, good God. Wayne, your thoughts? You have some love for Mary Lou Retton?
Well, the good thing about this story is that she got caught.
Yeah, that's facts. Okay.
And that you're giving, a commentary on somebody who's going to get some, take the courses, drunk driving, all this, whatever, the mugshot. Because it could have been the other way. And we could have been cleaning up bodies off the street. At the same time, she's still taking a sobriety test. Because usually when people are under the influence and this happens, they don't get hurt. They walk away and everybody else is unalived. So that's the good thing. The one thing, like Felicia said, is that, they really treat her nice. I just saw a case where a lady, she was asking police, well, why are you a black lady? Why are you stopping me? What's the charge? Blah, blah. Just get out. Boom, boom, got her out and slammed her head into the police car, putting the cuffs on her.
Wow.
Mary Lou was resisting a little bit, but because she resisted, they put her hands in the front. So, maybe this is it should have been a wake-up call for a long time ago, but hopefully with this, and her face is plastered all over the television for drunk driving, and I'd rather see it that than for unaliving somebody due to drunk driving. And God knows, I remember Mary Lou Retton. I'm a few years older than her, but that don't look like her. They don't look nothing like Mary Lou Retton. So life, what she chose, is taking a toll on her.
Yes, she looks. She had a stroke or something. She does look different. I think she had a stroke. If she didn't, she looked like she had a stroke. And I'm not being funny, but I'm actually being serious. She looked like she had a stroke.
Either way, she's going through a lot. Some very good points made. Y'all are correct. It's a good thing she did get stopped. She's off the streets. She was driving dirty, as they so to speak say, right? Because her license, even though it was from Texas and she's in West Virginia, the license still expired. She had alcohol. And, you know, I learned from being in my book club, because some of the ladies like to, you know, when we have our meeting, like to have their wine. I learned that you can't even drive, like you can't take home like open bottles from somebody's house and a party in your car. You're not supposed to have that and do that. I didn't know that until like recently, really. So she had an open bottle of wine in the car.
Open container.
Open container. Yeah, I didn't know that, Wayne. I mean, because what if you just want to, somebody was like, here, take this bottle of wine. I ain't finishing. You can have it. You can't do that. But they said, you know, you can put it in the trunk or whatever. But either way, I learned about that. So it
Diddy,
is.
can I say something real quick?
Yeah, of course you can.
About that, to show you how people, you know, real drinkers won't do what I did. I used to when I would go to the casino, you know, they give you, you know, little drinks or whatever. You know, if you want a drink with alcohol, you got to pay, you know. So I said, well, you know what? I used to just stop by and get the little bottles of Jack Daniels, you know, just a little bottle. You get a free Coke, you know, and pour it in there. Go in the bathroom, go in the store, pour it in there, right? Well, I go in the store, into the liquor store today because I'm going to the casino, and they didn't have no little small things. I said, okay, I'm just going to buy me a fifth or whatever, the big bottle, you know, and I'll buy my own Coke and take it in. So I'm sitting in the parking lot of the casino, right? I'm waiting on a prime spot. I don't want, you know, I want a prime spot. So while I'm sitting there waiting for a prime spot, I'm making me a little drink to go into the casino. And the police just pulls up on the side of me and he says, oh, what you doing there? I was like, oh, shoot. I can't lie. If I lie, I said, oh, I was
That's what you
just,
get for being cheap.
listen. I said, oh, I was just gonna make a drink, you know, whatever. He said, I said, but I haven't drank anything. He said, but it's open. I said, yeah, but I haven't drank any of it. He said, but it's open. I said, well, yeah, but he said, so that would be an open container. I'm like, oh. I said, well, I could pour it out. He pretty much said, what you can do is leave the premises. He said, because it's a $500 fine. And if he could take me in. I'm like, oh, shoot. Yeah, they could take you in. And he said, or you can go on a leave now and don't come back for 24 hours. I got your tag number. I said, you know what? You got it. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know anything about I figured in fact, I wasn't drinking it. You know, no, open container in your car is just like drinking. That's it.
Woo! Well, you know, like I said, I didn't know, but now I know.
Yeah, because they can say that you was drinking it, even though you probably wasn't drinking it, but they can say that you were drinking it because it's open. So they can get you for that. But a lot of people just put a penny under their tongue if they're drinking in a car.
I
If you
thought I
have
was
the
saving
alcohol
money.
stuff. Yeah, I'm
I
just
thought I was about to pay $500.
And the possibility of being taken in. And the
Yep, that was the choice. He
yeah.
said you can either leave on your own or $500 fine, and we can take you in for having an open container.
Jeez. Well, child. Well, listen. Sometimes we do these stories to get education. Dwight Howard divorce. You know, when we ignore red flags, this is just to everybody. When we ignore red flags, there's a price to pay. When you ignore the red flag that you're going on an interview and your boss is there in a robe in his underwear and you still say yes to the job, there's a price to pay. The red flags, they're there for you to help you put up the stop sign and say no. Now, I do believe that people deserve a second chance, but when you find out the person you about to date and marry, that's 7 people before you, it didn't go well, it is a high probability that you're going to be number 8 and it won't go well. But I do wish her well. But I think she's trying to put 20 on 10, talking about she wants spousal support. Girl, pick up the pieces and go on about your business. This Diddy sentencing date, Sebastian came up here. I forgot what night it was, and we did trending topics. And he said this whole case smells like corruption. And the more we dig into it, it's corruption at its finest. We found out now that Tyrone Blackburn was working with the prosecution. We know Tony Busby was working with the prosecution. We know that because they speaking out themselves. We ain't even doing no digging. They said loose lips sink ships, and these people is running their mouths. The chef told us, because the government didn't tell us. The chef told us out of her own mouth that she wrote a letter about this sentencing. We would have never known because they ain't mentioned her name today. But she inserted herself in this. People in this money thing, the love of money, the greed. And money is not evil, and it's not evil, and it's not bad having money. But when you will lay down your soul for a dollar bill, it's a problem. Mary Lou Retton, only 57. Wishing her the best. You on oxygen. You got a pill problem, an alcohol problem, and you got other medical conditions. I wish her the best. I pray that maybe this was the catalyst that will send her to rehab. The same way I pray that this whole jail time with Diddy is the catalyst that will send him to rehab whenever he gets out. Listen, everybody, I appreciate y'all being here. I told y'all this was going to be a 60-minute train ride, okay? Because we having the storms go on and off out here in Jersey. So I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, do the Diva a favor. Hit the like button on the way out. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. My goal for the month of July is to hit 50K. I'm going to say 40. 50K. I'm at 41. I'm almost there. I just need 9,000 subscribers. Anything can happen. I appreciate y'all. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo choo.